Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we're doing a video review for Papermonk. It's a silver slash gold level game. He's going to be playing Soldier 76 and Winston. So we're going to jump right into it and take a look at his team composition. He's going to be playing Soldier. They have a Farah, a Zenyatta, a Diva, a Mercy, and a Reinhardt. Overall, a pretty good team composition. They have really high killing potential while remaining relatively safe. So we can go ahead and jump right in and take a look at what's going on. So we'll go ahead and skip forward. So you go ahead and take the high ground. Actually a pretty good idea, Soldier, as long as you communicate it with your team. One thing just to keep in mind is make sure you're checking your flank. You can kind of count their whole team here as they go by, so you can kind of do a head count and make sure you're safe, but it doesn't hurt to, look behind you real quick. And we're going to go back a little bit because there's actually something else there. So right at this point, your Mercy starts healing you. I don't know why. She should be damage boosting you. Just call out for the damage boost. That was a good rocket. You secure the kill on Zenyatta, but actually what you could have did is we're going to go back to right as it starts. You could have actually killed him a little earlier. So right here, there's Zenyatta's really out of position. You can see him, he's not behind the shield, and you have a clear shot at him. You and Farah could have took him out before the fight even started. So just, shooting the Ryan shield's important, but be looking for picks when you can get them. Like I said, nice rocket. Secures the kill. Overall, not bad positioning. You're remaining relatively safe. You don't have a Reinhardt to hide behind, so that's actually a pretty good position. That was another instance where your target priority was a little off. So they have the Reinhardt. He's got the shield up, but their healer is actually in front of the shield. So you should switch to trying to take out the healer. Targeted priority is pretty important, especially a Soldier. Securing kills, you can secure kills pretty quick, so definitely go for the people who are way out of position. You do eventually switch, mostly out of necessity. Your Mercy dies. Alright, here's where we're going to start getting into the mechanical aspects of it. So Mercy dies, and you're face to face with a half health Zarya while you're at half health, but you have your healing station. So you actually should have the advantage. You should be able to kill this Zarya, but you just hold the button down and your spread is all over the place. I mean, you're firing everywhere. Had you pulse shot it a little better, you could have definitely killed that Zarya. So work on pulse shots, 5, 6 shots is pretty good. You do secure the kill. You run to your Diva. Good kill, good kill. You push the out of position Rhine, but Tracer gets a pretty good pulse bomb off. Not much you could have really did in that situation. You guys both tried to run and just ran in the same direction. So you guys do the right thing. You drop back and wait for the regroup.
We should group up before. Okay, I'm gonna.
Winston jumps in, goes a little aggro. You should actually be concentrating your fire to help the Winston out.
Okay, I think yeah, you guys can go.
Just to kind of take advantage of his madness. Excuse me. You guys get nano bladed.
Oh, five. I got five.
But
Ah, crap.
you guys basically just get out ulted. I knew that was going to happen, so I'm not really going to comment too much on anything you could have did there. Overall, you guys just got out ultimated. That's all you can do.
Well, okay.
Should I go? Should I go different DPS?
I think Pharaoh's fine.
No, I'm not doing that kind of
They
stuff.
don't have too much like long distance stuff, so as long as you don't like break the plate thing. Except Ana. Yeah, Ana.
Good pick on Genji.
Work that well.
Your Zen should be calling out his discords a little better. I would have just asked him to call it out.
Oh, nice.
That was a good target selection on Ana. You guys basically clean it up and take the point back.
Get back.
So right here, you're doing a little dance. You're making sure you're checking, both directions. But honestly, what you should be doing in this time is repositioning. You can take the position on the high ground at this point. Basically, sprint up there, take the high ground on this bridge that's above you, and you'll have a much more advantageous position, and your healers can still get to you. So just something to be aware of. Keep in mind that positioning is really important for Soldier.
I'll just try not to die.
Winston jumps up and face checks. Kind of a gutsy thing to do, but he doesn't really get punished for it. Looks like they're coming back up mid. Good job securing the kill on the Tracer. On the Genji. And I was a little confused at this part because they're attacking you, and then they just kind of forget about you. So you clean them up.
That works.
Good priority there overall. That was a good clean fight.
Thank you for heals.
Genji wasting his deflect. Good pick on Zenyatta.
Let's just try to go for it.
So right here, what you're going to do, and you and I actually already talked about this, but we'll go over it. You decide to go for the Rhine when your better choice would have been to help the people out on point, attack the healer. Target priority, like I said, is really important. You should honestly have lost this fight and died, but somehow he misses the fire strike and you live.
It's only Tracer.
Zen panic ults to try to stall the point out.
Yana paid that?
Just try to hold down there. Nice.
End of round 1. So you guys had a good first successful round. So we'll go ahead and start round 2. So looking at round 2, we're going to look at your comp and how it's changed. You're still sticking on Soldier. You guys went with the Roadhog, Zenyatta, Zarya, Mercy, Winston. It's kind of a weird team comp. You're not divey, but you're not a tanky comp. I guess, you're kind of a triple tank comp, so it could work. A little strange. I would probably switch to Pharah in this instance, just to help your Winston out, but what you got works.
Okay, yeah, pretty much. It's just a tank.
So you go up the side. Not a bad idea when your team's already jumped in the middle. It's a good way to get a flanking position on.
Got Anna.
Be careful shooting into Zarya's shield.
Holy.
You do a good job at securing the kill on Zarya. The only problem is most of your team's already dead, so not much you could do in this situation. It's just you and Roadhog left. You guys have already lost that fight. Retreating would have been alright. I mean, honestly, fighting it out isn't a bad idea, but retreating to regroup with your team, especially since this puts you a little behind, would have probably been a better idea.
The dragon went right on me. Thank you, then.
Thank you, Mercy.
We go back a little bit, just because this is the first time I've noticed it this time, but I know you do it quite frequently. You have Mercy on you. She's healing you after you take a little bit of chip damage, and you drop your healing station. Be a little more careful about using your healing station. It's probably your most important tool as soldier. So when it's on cooldown or it's in a bad position, it really puts you at a disadvantage. So just be a little more careful with that, especially when you have healers around to heal you back up.
I'm powering you up.
Sleep darted.
Oh, yeah, my ultimate's ready.
Good job securing the kill on Hanzo.
Now just try to.
You secure Zarya. So this part's going to lead me into my second big tip, is you need to start working on learning hero timings and abilities and the map. The map not so much at this point, but at other points the map comes into play. But what you could have done is as he's wraithing away, you should know the point where he's about to come out of wraith form. Just do like a head count, and you can actually helix rocket him as he comes out of it and put a whole bunch of damage into him and then kill him with a couple of headshots. Because you wait, he actually gets healed from the Zen and lives and kills you. So that was a fight you definitely could have won.
There he is.
So we'll skip forward a little bit. So you have your ultimate up.
I think Reaper has his ult.
You guys are still holding steady on the point.
Look out for him. My ultimate's almost ready.
Diva kind of throws her ult out.
40 more %. Which isn't really that much. Just
You guys get the pick on Zenyatta again because their Zenyatta is way out of position.
I almost took.
You regroup with the team. So at this point, you see Diva's out of her mech. You know Reinhardt is actually right here because you just saw his shield.
so deep.
What you should have done, man, I keep messing that up. What you should have done
I almost took.
is when you swing around again, right here, this gives you a whole bunch of information. Diva's out, Reinhardt's right here. You should set yourself up right here with your healing station. You know, little healy guy right there. Set up right there with your healing station. Pop your ultimate and kill as many of them as you can. You would definitely kill Soldier. You would kill Diva. You would kill Ana. And you would help your team win this fight super fast. Instead, you decide to run back around and regroup with your team, which isn't a bad idea, but you could have secured all these kills. So Reaper gets you. Not much you could do about that because he was in the middle of your team, so you didn't really expect him there. You were just a little far forward. But you guys pretty much clean up that point.
I'm dead. So just go ahead. Yeah.
Diva ult, you drop your healing station again at full health. Again, be careful on your healing station usage.
We had 5 people. I just suck it.
You pop your ultimate with Diva in your face, and again, you guys just get out ulted. Honestly, I probably would have waited for that. You should know at this point that they have all their ultimates, because the only one who's really used it so far is Hanzo and
I'll just
Reaper.
make all those.
So you guys do the right thing, you group back up.
Okay, so if we push it, let's see if I can.
Anyone have ults?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you could use your ult to push through. And if everyone
Good. You guys overall are doing pretty good on team communication.
Go on this one.
no, don't flank. Well, because I don't want to like. Oh yeah, Zenyatta and Roadhog.
Zen rushes in with his ult. That's a little questionable. But you guys get to pick on their Zenyatta, but you guys get wiped by Reaper's ult.
Stay back front. Okay, well now
So now it's do or die. You guys got to get in there.
I'm going.
Mercy flies in and dies.
Paragon said it.
Because that was... I mean, she did it to stall the point, but it was a little crazy of a move. So I don't think anything you could have did here would have changed how the fight ends. But just pointing out target selection again, you decide to attack the nano boosted Rhine, who's getting healed by an Ana, and there's also a Diva, and there's also a Roadhog right there, right behind you. Better target selection, better target selection, better target selection. But you guys were so outnumbered at this point. Like I said, I don't think anything you would have done would have made a difference.
It's okay.
So we'll start the third round. You guys are pretty much running the same team comp. Did switch out a Diva.
They're right on the way with shield. It's 3/4 way.
Okay, they're all on the point.
Here you could definitely use your Helix Rocket to secure a kill on this Reinhardt. He gets super low there, and as soon as he drops his shield, you could have Helixed him and killed him.
Nice.
Instead, you decide to just keep poking away. Don't be afraid to use that Helix Rocket. Other than that, you guys pretty much lost that fight super early. Most of your team is dead. I would have just fallen back.
In my opinion, the Ana is
But
by Ana.
one of your players switched to Winston, jumps right in and dies because he has no support from the team. The complete wrong way to play Winston.
Or, like, he wasn't even going after me. He was just in.
So you're putting out a lot of poke damage, but it's going to be really hard for you to secure a kill. They have their healers on the point. They also have Reinhardt who can drop back and shield them if they need to. You already have your ultimate. So the better play would be to just drop back and wait for your team and go in as 6. Because you're pretty much just feeding their support's ultimates. This is going to be the first point in map knowledge, but there is a health pack right there. So had your Mercy not came and healed it, had your Mercy not come and helped you, you could have grabbed that to heal yourself up.
Okay, I'm going behind this.
That's a pretty good ult. I would work on your target selection again. I would probably get a little more aggressive, take up a position over here, just because there's really not too much that can punish you on their team. Genji dashed over there now. He would pretty much be it. So we're going to go into a little bit of more, I want to say mechanical, but it's more knowledge than mechanical. So Genji dashes over. When you're fighting Genji as soldier, the two biggest things you want to worry about is my health station up, and has he used deflect? So in this case, your health station is up, but it's currently being used, so you just dropped it. Let me get a little bit better. See if you needed to drop it. So no, this is an instance where you absolutely did not need to drop your health pack. You had 7 damage. Your Mercy was healing you, and you just drop your health pack. So what happens is when Genji comes up, you see Genji, and Genji pretty much does to you what you want to do to him. When you first see a Genji, most times what they will do is they will throw a couple of shurikens at you, get your attention, and then immediately deflect. The better play is, first, don't let them get the drop on you, but pop a couple into them to force their deflect out, kind of make them worry a little bit. So he uses his deflect on your terms, so you can just wait it out. And then what that Genji has to do is he either has to stay and fight it out without deflect. In most cases, he'll dash, and you'll just have to turn around and shoot him, or he'll try to hit you melee and then dash. Or he'll have to run away, in which case you're either free to pursue him based on map, or what's going on. So that was Nikki's phone, by the way. But you're either free to pursue him or attack him based on what's going on. In this instance, say everything played out perfectly, you bait the deflect, and he decides to leave. At this point, I probably wouldn't chase him, because the better targets are actually on the point. But what happens is he plays you, he gets your attention, and he deflects. He almost kills you with that deflect. You guys kind of fight it out, and he leaves. You go for the kill. The problem is, and this is where map knowledge comes in again, you could have grabbed a health pack first and then gone into the kill. But there's a large health pack right here, so the next time you see him, in this instance, he's going to be at full health. So he's at full health, you're not, and his deflect's back up. So he pretty much just outplays you 100%. He goes for a sword. I don't know if that was a good idea, just because of the fact that most of his team was dead. And your team takes him out.
I was like waiting for the Genji to come running out with this sword, but I was like, wait.
Good positioning. That was pretty good target selection. You run and hide in the wall. That was a pretty good ult by Farah till D.Va showed up. Reaper gets the drop on you. Again, just kind of check your flanks every so often. Overall, you still have a pretty safe position. target priority. I'm gonna keep repeating this till you get it, but nano boosted Rhine, not the priority. Kill the healers.
What is going on?
May walls you.
You just criticizing him the whole time?
Yes, I am just criticizing him the whole time.
That poor guy.
That's what they pay me to do.
That poor man. Shut up, Pete. I criticize you all the time. I don't get anything out of it.
You get paid the same thing I do. It's a pretty standard team fight. Not much you can really do. Your positioning could use a little bit of work, especially when you hit your ult. And this is actually what I was waiting for. You can definitely take a position up on the high ground across, because now that they're running the May and the Reaper, unless the Reaper gets a drop on you, there's nothing that they can do to punish you up there. So you would have had a much better shot at the Ana, the Lucio, the May. Basically overall just better positioning. Still good ult. Diva comes in late. Reaper ults. You miss your rocket and then decide to pursue him when the better choice would have been to just stay where you are and try to kill him from there, but he gets the kill on you because you're close enough for him to do damage. But you guys win, so it's all good. So round 4 we're gonna go through pretty quick because there's not a whole lot that goes on in round 4 that you can really improve on. You come face to face with the Diva. Don't be afraid to get in her face and attack her. The problem is you guys have actually already lost most of your team, so the better idea would have been to just back up, regroup with your team. But you do eventually do that. You just take a little longer. You guys are still bleeding people. Your whole team should back up at this point. So, your Reinhardt charges in like a dummy when half your team's dead and dies. And you follow him like a dummy and die. Don't be afraid to fall back and regroup with your team. You guys do pretty well on that. In some cases, in other cases, you guys are a little weird about it. See there, you helix him, but he still gets away. Junkrat tires your mercy. So you're down both healers now. You decide to push in. You guys can honestly still fight this out. The problem is your positioning is very aggressive and you miss some very important information. So first is you don't have any healers. Second is there's a Junkrat right here. And Junkrat in this area right here is actually super dangerous because all his grenades will just bounce around, and most times he'll get a lucky shot on you. The other thing is you don't see the Reaper right there. So Reaper has teleported back around and coming back from the other side. And he pretty much gets in right behind you and kills you. So we'll go forward a little bit. You guys do group up. Perfect. You guys trade, but they've lost a Junkrat, you've lost a Mercy, so they're actually ahead in this fight.
Oh, that's right.
You've been holding on to your ult for quite a long time. You do finally use it. Pretty much in the do or die point. It's kind of a random Zarya ult for one person. Your team cleans it up though. The problem is they've held the point to 99, so they only have to beat you once. So they can honestly take their time, charge up their ultimates, and then just run in with 6 ultimates and kill you guys.
Honestly, even without being here, Reaper.
Roadhog's got your back. Diva sends her ult in. This is another instance where a direct helix would have killed the Diva before she got in her mech. And a Junkrat Tire is just going to come from behind and kill you guys. Like I said, not much really goes on in that round. They pretty much outplay you that whole round. So you switch to Winston because he's your best character, and you guys think you could do a benefit from a Winston, which actually isn't a bad idea, because if they run the same team comp, the only thing you really have to worry about is the Reaper. 76 all by himself. You could have jumped down and killed him. So you jump down, drop your barrier, and kind of poke at them. The better thing to do as Winston is probably stay up on the high ground as much as you can and get as much damage into them as possible. Make them retreat back in there and then drop down and use your barrier. You could have got a little more damage out of that. Good job working the different angles. Take a quick power nap. And again, good job engaging. You kill him, and then you kill both of these guys. That Reaper was kind of crazy to re-engage into that, but I think at that point they knew the fight was lost, so that it was better for them to just die. So you drop a barrier down, but then you retreat. You want to make sure you're saving your barrier for when you know you can use it to put some damage into them. Luckily, this map doesn't punish that so much because there's a lot of little nooks and crannies you can hide in. That's a good Zarya ult. Especially with you, because you can just cleave them all down. You guys get the res. Another instance where you drop your barrier, then hide. Good target selection on the Mercy. Target selection there could have been a little better. You could have definitely gone after the Diva once the mech exploded. Good job getting aggressive. You know, soldiers up here alone. But then again, you drop your barrier and just leave. So barrier could have been used right here to help your team with his ult, but luckily you guys are positioned well enough you don't need it. They're all grouped up, so that's an easy kill for you. Probably could have ulted there just to save yourself and help clean it up. The nice thing is, though, you guys are in such a good position, basically the opposite position you were in last round, where you've held it to 99, so you only have to win one fight.
Let's push.
Okay, so yeah, I'll power up the soldier. Just don't die.
So you jump in, you hit your ult, cause some mayhem. Works out really well. I would have waited on the ultimate personally, but it works out for you guys, so.
Ah, nice. Team kill. Nice.
You wreck them and you win.
Good game. Good game.
Not too much I can nitpick you on for Winston, because you actually play pretty much Winston the way he's supposed to be played. But we'll go through the takeaways after we watch the play of the game.
Yeah, hopefully it's mine.
Of course, it's your mercy. 5-player res. But then you guys all die anyway. Alright, so let's go through some takeaways. First we'll do 76. Communicate a little more. Just, positioning, ultimates, how you're feeling that day. Honestly, anything you can do to communicate a little more would probably be beneficial. Take note of what kind of damage you're putting into the enemy team. If it's just going to be poke damage and you already have your ultimate, you're just feeding the enemy support's ultimates, and that's not a good trade, especially when you already have your ultimate. So just be careful on your poke damage. Take advantage of the downtime just to reposition yourself. There's not many instances on control maps, but there were a few, and on payload maps there are definitely a lot more. So make sure you're using the downtime to position yourself optimally. Target selection is really important. I know I hammered this home pretty much the whole video, but target selection is the most important thing you can do as soldier. Breaking the Rhine shield is important, but only as important as how many people are behind it. If somebody's in front of it, if somebody's beside it, behind it, if you can get a shot on somebody else, it's almost better to shoot them, unless you guys are specifically going for a shield break team, which in this game you were not. And again, the nano boosted Rhines aren't always the best targets, especially when they're at full health. You're better off running away and looking for a different target. I know you said you took a lot away from watching me play soldier, and you probably saw that I aim for their feet a lot when I shoot the rockets. I also hit direct rockets when needed, or when possible, because it does do more damage. So work on hitting the direct helix just to secure kills. Work on ability timings, map knowledge. I know you and I have gone through some of this already, and we can definitely go through it some more. That'll definitely help you in a lot of the fights. Like the Genji fight's the big one that stands out here, but there are definitely some other instances where that would have helped you. Finally, for 76, know when to be aggressive. There's a lot of points on Sanctum where you could have taken a much more aggressive position and not be punished for it. Just make sure you are checking the flanks, but aggressive positioning as 76 will help with that target selection. Finally, for Winston, like I said, there's not much I can really criticize you on. You played Winston, very well. He is your best character. And watching you play him, I can easily see that you're most comfortable on him. The only thing I could really say is be a little more careful how you use the barrier. Nepal, the actual point you used him on isn't too bad because, like I said, there's a lot of places you can duck in and hide or jump away to. But the bigger open maps, if you use your barrier like you did this one, you would be severely punished because you would be caught out in the open with no barrier. Overall, I hope this helps you. I know, according to Nikki, all I did was criticize you, but I'm just trying to help. So
Did he do anything right? Jesus.
I said he did lots of things right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Feel free to submit more video reviews. I'm always happy to do them because criticizing people is fun and easy.
You did good, man. You did good.
And Nikki will always be here to make sure you get that boost you need. I break them up and you build them. I break them down and you build them back up.
I try.
Okay. Have a good night.